Hi, everyone. I can see we're very active in the chat, so good to see you all. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Matt. You might be expecting Simon. I'm Matt, the current editor of Travel Bulletin. So apologies on Simon's behalf, but I'm very grateful to have you regardless. We're back today with our latest Travel Bulletin training webinar focused on the luxury holidays market. And I'm very happy to say that along with all the agents who are very active in the chat at the moment, we're also joined by four of our great partners who are looking forward to updating you on all their product news and hopefully lay the groundwork for some brilliant relationships with their product and destinations with you guys in the future. So let's meet them one by one. I'll say hello to AlUla's account executive, Samantha Fulton. Hi, Sam. Nice to meet you. How are you
Hello, thank
today?
you for having me. Yeah, I'm very good, thanks.
Brilliant. Great to have you. Next up, we have Oliver, Bahia Principe's sales manager for the UK. Hi, Oliver.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon.
Our third presenter of the afternoon, representing Florida Keys and Key West, is Emma Cashmore. Hi, Emma. How are you?
Hi, Matt. Hi, everyone. Looking forward to speaking to you later.
Brilliant. And rounding out a brilliant lineup is our final presenter, Steve Stewart, the UK Sales and Marketing Director for Lindos Hotels. Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm very well, Matt. Nice to see you and looking forward to the presentations.
Brilliant. So if you're not familiar with the format, each of our partners are going to deliver a 10-minute presentation, and then we'll have a really brief couple of minutes after the fact for a couple of questions. So if we can drop questions in the Q&A function, so it should just be to the left of your chat icon at the bottom of your Zoom taskbar. So any questions that you do have, please in that Q&A function so we can make sure we don't miss any. And as I say, that's a couple of minutes after a 10-minute presentation from each of our supplier. During that Q&A, each presenter will also announce their competition prize in question. So you're not just leaving with a head full of knowledge, you might also have the chance to win some brilliant prizes, and you will have to enter your answers for those prize questions at travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition. That's www.travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition. You will obviously get a follow-up email with details and a link to that, but you do have to submit your answers by this coming Sunday. That's the 9th of June. By 4 p.m. if possible, to qualify for entries. And there are some brilliant prizes on offer, as you'll hear from each of our suppliers. So do keep your ears out and make sure you pick up on those prize question answers and guarantee a good shot at winning. But enough of me, we'll crack on. So I'm going to hand over to Sam up first. So if I could ask all our panelists to mute yourselves and turn off your cameras while Sam gives us a taste of AlUla.
Thank you for the introduction. Hope you can all hear me okay. Yes, so I'll introduce you to AlUla. Let me get my screen up and running. Hopefully that looks all good. All right, so welcome. I'm not sure if many of you have heard about AlUla, but AlUla is still a comparatively new and unexplored destination. It is in northwest Saudi Arabia. So, however, it's very easy to put together a luxury itinerary for you. And today, for this presentation, I'm going to focus on what a 4-night/5-stay, 5-day itinerary could look like for your clients. So so this is just a map to show where it is. So AlUla, a part of Saudi Arabia, is roughly the size of Wales in terms of landmass, but compared to Wales, which has a population of about 3 million, Saudi only has a population of 45,000. Despite its large land size, it is still relatively easy to explore, as much of the key sites, which I'll go over today, are located along a single oasis. And over 60% of this land, for instance, has been designated as nature reserve, so it's a very gorgeous part of the world. We would recommend that you see as many of these key sites as possible in an itinerary. Much of these itineraries can be managed through preferred tour operators or alternatively organized directly with a DMC. Doing that with the DMC as well also means you have all your ground transport included, which can be quite important. So this is just showing the accessibility of AlUla. It is served domestically from Jeddah, Riyadh, and Amman, but also internationally over Dubai with a EK/FJ code share, and also by Qatar Airways over Doha. But seasonally, Royal Jordanian also operates in AlUla over Oman, and then flying from Cairo, and also Gulf Air from Bahrain. So there are quite a few different options. This means that it is very easy to include AlUla in any kind of Saudi holiday adventure. For instance, something called the Golden Triangle, where you'd have Jeddah, AlUla, and Riyadh all in one pack. It's also quite easy to twin with the amazing new luxury Red Sea resort hotels, or alternatively, a twin center destination with UAE, or perhaps Jordan, Doha, or even Egypt. So for just a little background, for millennia, AlUla has stood as a bit of a beacon of hospitality and enlightenment with its huge desert oasis. This was a safe and welcoming place along lots of ancient caravan routes. For instance, it was part of the ancient incense route and the Silk Route, where traders, artists, pilgrims, and all that came together and converged, exchanged ideas, etc. It became home to successive civilizations over 7,000 years, including the Nabateans, the Lionites, and the Dadanites, which spans over 200,000 years of human history. Today, we are only targeting in the region of 1.5 million leisure visitors globally by 2035. So AlUla is, and still will remain, a rather small boutique destination, which will provide hopefully authentic and memorable experiences. So the visitor experiences that we recommend covers under these 5 sections I got here. So I'm going to go over a few examples of our heritage options: nature and outdoors, adventure, arts and culture, and wellness. So this is an example of an itinerary we could look at. So as I said at the beginning, we'd be recommending a minimum 4-night, 5-day stay. But if customers want to get really immersed into it, we also definitely recommend a 7-day stay, which allows for some downtime to explore the more wellness areas, or like perhaps a pool in your hotel, things like that. An example for this could be on day 1 and day 2, we would recommend covering the 4 main heritage sites, which you see here. They are Hegra, the AlUla Old Town, Dedan, and Jebel Ikma. And then after that, we recommend seeing some of the nature and the outdoors. For instance, Elephant Rock is a big iconic part of AlUla. And then perhaps taking an exhibition, depending on the season, what time of the year. Got something called Desert X, for instance, perhaps explore the oasis, take in some adrenaline activities in the adventure hub. Got things like, Via Ferrata, things like that. Yeah. Or enjoy many hiking and cycling trails as well. But again, alternatively, you've got customers who maybe don't want to do the adventure hub stuff, then planning in some time to relax by the pool is also an option. So just going to briefly touch on the 4 heritage sites. The first one is Hegra. So this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is the southernmost city of the Nabatean ancient civilization. It's known as like the sister city to Petra in Jordan, which I'm sure most of you know of. It consists of over 110 well-preserved tombs in a space of about 52 hectares. And the best way we recommend to explore this is by joining an organised tour, either in a private vintage Land Rover or on a coach. These tour visits include visits to various tombs within the complex, and the starting price is from about 95 SARS, which is equivalent to about £20, and duration of about 2 hours. Do just want to note though, here self-driving is not allowed, so always best to look on a tour. And then we've got AlUla Old Town. This dates back to the 12th century. This was once a hub of over 800 tightly packed mud, brick, and traditional stone houses. Now this area is being sensitively restored. Best way you can do this is by taking a 1-hour tour with a Rawi guide who will share its history and its stories. Rawis are like kind of narrators of the region. And you can walk along the Old Town Market Street, following in the millennia-old footsteps of merchants who once would have lived there. You can browse lots of different like local handicraft stalls, any like antique stalls or cafes, restaurants. And we recommend the best time to visit would be in the late afternoon and the evening when it's a little bit cooler. And then our third heritage site is Dedan. So Dedan actually predates Hegra. It is an iconic site. One of the iconic sites here is something called the Lion Tombs, which are built over 50 meters high into these redstone cliffs. This is actually an ongoing and active archaeological site. It is believed that the entire lost civilization of Dedan is still yet to be discovered here. And we've currently only uncovered about 6% of what there is believed to be there. Again, the best way to experience this is an organized tour. And then the final heritage site is a place called Jabal Ikma. So Jabal Ikma is about a 10-minute drive from Dedan, and it is known as the open-air library of AlUla. So it is hidden in a small valley, and it's full of these inscriptions of ancient rock art, providing stories of daily life thousands of years ago in quite a few different languages, you can see. So now I've gone over the 4 heritage sites. I'm going to touch on a couple of the nature and outdoors. So first of all, and a very iconic photo spot, is Elephant Rock. This is probably one of the most iconic images from AlUla. This is a great 3-story high sandstone monolith created entirely by nature. It is a good place to relax, enjoy a coffee, mingle with the locals, and watch the sun go down. And so I mentioned at the beginning, AlUla is located along an oasis. So a lot of people, when they think of like Saudi, they picture desert, heat and sand, but this is a desert oasis. So the summer months are hot. The winters can be quite chilly, especially at night, that classic desert climate. But the nurturing force of the oasis means that there's a lot of greenery, maybe not what you expect. And the oasis is about 14 kilometers long, and today it remains a life force for the region. So in this oasis, there are over 2.2 million date palm trees that provide a canopy over the oasis, towering above like citrus groves, small farms, and a lot of these holdings produce herbs, vegetables, and fruits which are used in the local restaurants. AlUla Old Town and Al Jadida sit right across the oasis, and it's an easy walk in between the areas. Another thing you can do is go some stargazing at Garamil, where the absence of any light pollution lends itself to fantastic stargazing, as you can see. This is a really good idea for an evening tour where visitors can listen to an expert Rawi explain about the constellations and also regale the stories of how the Bedouins use the stars to find their way across the desert. In some tours, you can also get like dinner included, so it's a nice addition to your itinerary. So AlUla is developing a reputation for the arts, providing a nexus of ideas exchanged for millennia. Today, for instance, contemporary artists are contributing to the story with initiatives such as the regeneration of Al Jadida district as a centre for arts. So I mentioned, for instance, depending on the time of year you go, you could see installations like Desert X. This runs during the Arts Festival annually in February/March. Of the new experiences, this will unfold at Wadi Al Fan, also known as the Valley of the Arts, which is opening in 2026 and will provide a new cultural destination with a blank canvas for large-scale land by global artists. So the unique geology of this region, it is a volcanic plateau, sandstone mountains, and the Valley Oasis lends itself to a huge variety of experiences. You can also add into your itinerary some hot air ballooning, for instance, or a short helicopter flight over it, or perhaps a 4x4 tour over the nature reserves. For the more adventurous, there are plenty of activities to immerse himself further into the landscapes. So you can see it from the ground, from the air, lots of different options. If you perhaps have some clients which are more adrenaline junkies, the Adventure Hub has zip lining, abseiling, rock climbing, giant swing, via ferrata, but there's also plenty less adrenaline, but still outdoorsy, like, you know, walking and hiking trails, cycle paths, etc. Also, even some horse riding and camel riding. So a big part of AlUla is its history. So it's where history and adventure meet serenity. That's what I like to think. So I have a big wellness section as well. Sorry if I overrun, Matt?
Yes, we are slightly overrunning.
Okay.
But obviously you can reach out to all the agents and send your slides over and things like that. And we do have a couple of questions. So we do, just to get around to those, to make sure no one's left behind. We have...
Yes, no, of course.
Ada in the chat.
I was right at the end anyway, so thank you.
Ada asking, could you do a twin center from London to Doha with AlUla?
Oh, that is a good question. Nothing I can just confirm. Any of these questions, I think I would do my research properly and reach out via probably email, make sure I actually get all the right information for you.
Brilliant. And what time of year is the best to travel to AlUla? That's the final question.
I feel like depending on the kind of season you're going for, we would recommend maybe not in the heat of the summer months, maybe more your shoulder seasons, just so it's a little bit more of a more pleasant climate. Yes.
Perfect. And would the tours or short breaks be suitable for young children? From Jackie.
We don't market it as a family destination per se, but you can definitely go with a family, but because it is your more smaller boutique, quite luxury, expensive kind of destination, it depends if that's what kids would enjoy.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. Your competition question, which you've asked me to read out, we've got a £50 M&S voucher and a Maison Assouline coffee book called AlUla Forever. And I have a copy of that. It's a great book. So the question is, name the 4 key heritage sites in AlUla. So again, agents, you will have a chance to watch this back. And I'm sure Samantha will send around her slides just in case you missed 1 or 2 there.
Yes, thank you.
Answers can be submitted at www.travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition by this Sunday. So thanks very much, Sam. We're going to now move on to Bahia Principe. So if I can ask Oliver to come back and join us. Sam, thank you very much.
Super. So interesting to see such nice destinations always with you.
Yes. So we've got quite a diversity, yeah. But moving over to Bahia Principe, I'll let you take it over, Oliver, and I'll be back in with some questions and your prize.
Okay. So thank you very much. Hello, everybody. In the name of Bahia Principe, I will start with a nice presentation, I hope. Let's see if it's well. And looks good. So just a second. I have a sign in front of the position where I have to go to switch over to the presentation. Oh, sorry, I have technical issues. Can you see the presentation? No?
Yes, I think we can, Oliver.
Okay, perfect. So you see everything. Then let's start. Okay. So welcome to Bahia Principe Hotels and Resorts. Today we are talking about luxury resorts, luxury vacation, beautiful hotels and nice destinations. So let's get right into it. And yeah, we do have a lot of nice properties, mainly based in Spain, in the Canary Islands, Tenerife. With 3 hotels there, which is the Sunlight Hotels of Bahia Principe, as the Costa Adeje, Tenerife, and the Fantasia. Fantasia, a special product for vacations. If you think to take your children and also the whole family, here is the best place. We do have really nice mini clubs, animation, beautiful shows at night. On Tenerife Island, the greatest island of the Canarian. And we also are based in Mallorca with Bahia Principe Coral Playa, which is based in Magaluf. These Spanish hotels are all good 4-star quality hotels. And then we are moving over. We take an aircraft and we go over to the Caribbean. And there we do have beautiful hotels in Mexico, Dominican Republic, and in Jamaica. yeah, if you come to the Caribbean, of course, for a luxury vacation, you need a beautiful beach and crystal clear water. Our hotels are based right on top of the beach, so you can choose about different brands. We do have a little bit for everybody, a good value for money, and you can choose between family hotels, which are our Bahia Principe Gran hotels. There is a lot of nice animation. You have diving clubs. You have snorkeling and surfing and a lot of bachata and merengue, typical Caribbean sound, so you can dance and have some party and you have fun. And if you want to be a little more on the luxury side, we have Little Plus. On top of it is our Bahia Principe luxury hotels. Yeah, and again, another nice Bahia Principe fantasy hotel for families. And between all our 23 hotels in the Caribbean, you can choose if you want to have an adults only hotel or if you want to spend the vacation with the children. Here is an example of our Punta Cana complex in the
Sorry
south.
to interrupt, Oliver. I
Yes.
think some of our attendees are having a problem with your PowerPoint. We can see the Bahia Principe screen, but we can't see any of the other slides.
Oops. Sorry. That's what I was wondering before. I don't know how to fix that. So let me check. I can go out here. I will try again. Sorry. This looks better. Okay, so sorry for that. And now it should work with the start, the presentation. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, Oliver.
Can you see it now? The destination.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, so this is a complex. If you can see it right now in Bahia Principe, you have the luxury Bahia Principe hotels right in front of the beach. In between, you have the Bahia Principe Gran Punta Cana, and in the second line, the Bahia Principe Fantasy for the family. Our pool areas, I hope you can see everything now, is brand new Punta Cana. A beautiful beach, and then you have the pools, so you can go just from the hotel directly to swim in the sea or join our pool area. Everything is renovated very nicely, as you can see here, the way to the beach with some shops with nice bars, coffee shops, and everything. And so here is an image of our brand new renovated mini club. You can see we have a master chef here, so the kids can cook, and later onwards, if they want to work for Bahia Principe, they can work in as cuisine masters in our restaurants. Right in front of the beach, we do have in Punta Cana our Las Olas restaurants, which is an additional offer of 5 perfect restaurants with different international cuisine, such as fish markets, the Thai restaurant, the Greek restaurant, and Mexican restaurant. The Brazilian restaurant, we do have also a Mongolian restaurant in Punta Cana for you, and in every hotel you do have an a la carte restaurant and a menu one. It's all inclusive, so you don't have to care about the extra cost. It's all included in the price, except if you want to have a special dinner in an a la carte restaurant, then it will be on charge, but it is all signed, so there is no misunderstanding. Here, the Mongolian restaurant we have in Punta Cana, the Indian one. So there is a lot of different types of cuisine. We have beautiful rooms with spacious rooms with a lot of material from the Dominican Republic, same as we do have the local products in Mexico and Jamaica. Yeah, you have the swim up suites with your own access to the pool area right in front. So there is a great nice variety of different room types, starting from junior suites to the superiors and with their own pool area. Then we do have the water park in Punta Cana, brand new, renovated, so for the kids' fun. And as you can see, really nice pool areas for relaxing and chill out. And you can see here our different hotels. This is the Bahia Principe Gran Amba, Luxury Amba, sorry, for adults only. And if you decide to get a nice wedding with Bahia Principe, you can do that. We arrange everything for you. So you can say yes there. And well, we are always happy to have new children in our resort. So the wedding package is perfect for you. But I have to tell you, if you say yes, then it is, you can't go and cancel it later onwards. So this is for life. Yeah, and if you want to have a little bit of calm after the wedding, you can play golf at our golf courses, which we have in the south of the Dominican Republic, in La Romana, and another one in Mexico. Here you can see the nice beach of our La Romana resort, the Bahia Principe Gran La Romana, and the Bahia Principe Luxury Bougainville. In the north of the Dominican Republic, we do have Samana, where you can see the whale watching from January till March. This is really spectacular. There's 2,500 Bacchus whales there, and you have that nice view from your room. You can see the whales right from there, or you go by boat and see them close. We do have our waterfalls of El Limon in the north of Samana, and Los Haitis, the national park. Yeah, and this is Bahia Principe Gran Samana, and right in front. Beside you have the El Portillo, the Bahia Principe Gran El Portillo, which yesterday was at the Spanish TV, a really nice property. And from there, from this beach, you have a beautiful view to the Bacardi Island, right in front. It's just 3 miles from Samana. You can go by boat trip. You can have a nice day at this beautiful Bacardi beach. And there you will find the most luxury hotel in the Dominican Republic, which is our Cayo Levantado resort, just opened in June last year. And with beautiful rooms and a really 5-star high class, the top product in the Dominican Republic. From there, we go to Mexico, to the Riviera Maya. Our hotels are based in the south, so you go to the Cancun airport and then down the Riviera Maya. You pass Playa del Carmen and you get to these nice Maya temples, Chichen Itza, Uxmal, Akumal, and our hotels are really close to these monuments. So you have the culture, the beach, and really the Mexican ambience. Yeah, this is our hotel Bahia Principe Gran Tulum, right in front of the beach with new room types, junior suite swim up, and again, really nice rooms, so perfect. Restaurants are totally renovated. Here you have an image of our Mexican restaurant and the Tulum area from the drone. So this is a beautiful property, and well, everything's up to date, so perfectly for your luxury hotel holidays. Then you do have the Bahia Principe Gran Cova, so you can decide again between a luxury or a Gran. And you have the Siancan, which is an adults only, as I said, with an own golf club right behind the hotel. From there, we go to our last destination, to Jamaica, where we do have 2 hotels beside Montego Bay in the north. And well, here again, the Jamaican rhythm, reggae, and really a lot to see. Jamaica is so beautiful. You have a lot of waterfalls. You can do climbing. You can walk through nature, and you can stay here at these two hotels, the Bahia Principe Gran Jamaica and the Bahia Principe Luxury Runaway Bay. Yeah, and I just bring a present for you, and that brings me to the end of the presentation. So if you would like to sign in at bahiaprincipe.com, you will receive as a present from us 1,000 welcome points. And just put in, please, the promo code luxury holidays, and then you receive these extra points. And if you are already a member of Bahia Principe Rewards of our program, then just send me a short email, and we will grant you with another 1,000 points, which you can use inside our destination, our hotels, for a nice a la carte dinner or maybe spa and wellness. Yeah, if you have any further questions, I will be later onwards for you. Thank you very much, and we see us later. Thank you.
Thank you, Oliver. We do, in fact, already have a couple of questions. So we've got one from Drew in the chat who asked, do all properties require reservations for the restaurants to be made via the app? And how many do you get versus the length of your stay? How many reservations do you get?
Yes. Yes, so this is a good question. Of course, as you have seen, there is so many restaurants, so you can choose between 5 different restaurants at the beach directly, and you have your own ones inside the hotel. So I would say the 50% is just you go there and enjoy the nice dinner. And for our a la carte restaurants, just make a reservation towards the reception a day before, and then it's okay, perfect.
Okay, brilliant. I'll just ask one more question. We do have a couple in the chat, so if you want to have a look afterwards,
yes,
feel free to answer them. But someone asked, for the resorts in Mexico, are there privileges between them for dining and facilities, so shared use of those between stays?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
So for the resorts in Mexico, can guests kind of chop and change between resorts where they can eat and use the facilities?
Yes, if you have a reservation at one of our luxury hotels, so Bahia Principe Luxury, then you can use all facilities from the neighbor hotels of Bahia Principe. If not, you can just come over to visit them, and we will try to get you a reservation there. So, but normally it's the way that if you have luxury, you can use all restaurants, and you have these 5 restaurants also in Mexico in front of the beach. So there is a lot of possibilities.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Oliver. So that's 1,000 extra reward points if you register at www.bahia-principe.com/Bahia Principe rewards. So I'm sure that link will be circulated around after the webinar, but you can then exchange those for a la carte dinners or excursions during a Bahia Principe stay. So thanks very much, Oliver.
Thank you. Sorry for the technical issue at the beginning.
That's absolutely fine. It happens.
Okay.
I imagine there was a bit of FOMO that we missed out on all those brilliant resort photos. But yeah, as I say, those slides will be circulated. So agents, fear not, you didn't miss out entirely. You can see those at the end. So yeah, we're going to welcome our next presenter now. So if I can ask Emma, who's already one step ahead, getting ready for her screen share, and she's going to tell us all about Florida Keys and Key West. So thanks very much, Emma. Over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. I know the time is really short, so I'm going to, see if I can rattle through this. Can everyone see my screen? Just a yes would be great.
I think so, yeah.
Good. Okay, great. So good afternoon and welcome to the Florida Keys and Key West. So before we get started, I just wanted to highlight our location. We are the string of islands underneath the main state of Florida. We're connected by the Overseas Highway, which is 125 miles long and actually connected with 42 bridges from Key Largo down to Key West. We're actually made up of over 800 small islands, and we are home to the world's 3rd largest barrier reef. So within the Florida Keys, we have 5 distinct areas, which are Key Largo, Isla Morada, Marathon, Big Pine Key and the Lower Keys, and then down at the bottom, Key West. So getting to the Florida Keys, Miami would be our gateway airport, and there are numerous direct flights from the UK and Ireland with American, British Airways, Virgin, North Atlantic, which is a new service, Aer Lingus from Ireland. But additionally, you can fly into Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale is about a 90-minute drive down to Key Largo. Miami is 60 minutes. And if you were going into Orlando, that would probably be about a 5 to 6 hour drive down to Key Largo. Additionally, Key West does also have an international airport where you can travel via a one-stop in the USA. So you could either do a one-stop into Key West and drive up the Keys, or a one-stop out of Key West back to the UK as well. So we do have an online training program, which I'd really encourage everyone to register if you haven't already done so. It's called the Key Lime Academy. It's got lots of fun facts, quizzes, and lots of learning. So our first step is Key Largo. So as I mentioned, this is about Key Largo is about a 60-minute drive from Miami Airport. And it's also known as the dive capital of the world. But if you aren't a keen diver, snorkeling and glass bottom boat rides are equally great because the visibility is so clear, you still get to experience the ocean's offering. Key Largo is also flanked by the Everglades National Park to the west of it, which is a premier destination for kayakers, birders and anglers. And from Key Largo, you can take a kayak tour through the mangroves to see all the wildlife. Up in Key Largo, we also have the John Pennycamp Coral Reef State Park, which is a great spot to enjoy water and also relax on the beach. So within the Florida Keys, our state parks, that will be the best, where you will find the best beaches. So we're very much a coral and water destination. And when you want to go to the beach, head to one of the state parks, and that's where you'll find all of the golden sands. But here at Pennycamp, you can hire the kayaks, paddle boards, canoes, and just go in and out of the water. We also have numerous ecotourism sites that you can also go and visit and explore by foot, helping you to discover Key Largo's natural wonders. So next we come down to Isla Morada, which is known as the sport fishing capital of the world. From Key Largo to Isla Morada, it is around a 45-minute drive. And in Isla Morada, we call Isla Morada the sport fishing capital of the world. So I just said that. And in Isla Morada, you can do all sorts of fishing all year round, from deep sea fishing to flat bottom boat fishing. And even if you're a non-angler or not so fond of fishing, it's still a great activity to do, either chartering a boat with a captain or taking a boat out on your own and just being connected with the sea. You've got the sunshine, the water. It really is a magical experience. And something I like to do whilst up in Isla Morada is stopping off for lunch at Robbie's Marina. They have a great restaurant, but here you can also feed the tarpon, and it's an activity well known throughout the Florida Keys. It's a great activity for kids. You buy a bucket of fish, you lie on your belly on the boardwalk and hang over the edge with the fish, and the tarpon jump out of the water and take the fish from your hand. It's great for children and adults alike. And in Isla Morada, you'll also find many boutiques and arts and craft shops as well. So next we come down to Marathon, which is about a 30-minute drive down. And Marathon is known as the heart of the Keys and home to the 7-mile bridge, which is the longest bridge in the Florida Keys. Actually, it's the longest bridge still today in the world, or one of the longest bridges, because it's one whole section in one piece. On the way through Marathon, you pass Pigeon Key, which is located at the 7-mile bridge. This is where the railroad workers used to live when they were building the original railroad that went down to Key West. So before this was the overseas highway, it was called the Henry Flagler Railroad. It was built in 1912, and at that time, the railroad was the only thing to connect Key West to the mainland, Florida. And it's a really interesting story how this community lived whilst building such a structure in the middle of the ocean at that time. It is a great place for Instagram photos as well. And Marathon is very child friendly. We've got the Turtle Hospital, which you can visit and learn all about the turtles, and visit the Turtle Hospital ward, where the turtles are healing and being rehabilitated before returning to the ocean. On a regular basis, the turtles are released back into the sea from beaches within the Florida Keys. And if you check the Turtle Hospital's social media or website, or ask at your hotel front desk, they will tell you when you can see a turtle being released. They happen every 1 or 2 weeks. So generally, you should be lucky enough to see a turtle go back to the ocean whilst you're over there. We also have the Dolphin Research Centre, which is a not-for-profit organisation set up in 1984 with the goal to ensure the dolphins had a home for life, and in doing so to establish a unique education and research facility. And also in Marathon, we have some lovely beaches in this area, including the Bahia Honda State Park, which has a beach voted in the top 10 beaches of America, as well as Annie's Beach, which is where locals will gather sometimes for a Sunday picnic. And as we come down to Big Pine Key and the Lower Keys, this is another 30 to 40 minutes drive down. And this area is known as the Natural Keys, or the backcountry. And when you come down to the Lower Keys, you're coming here to relax and be at one with nature. There are many isolated sand flats to relax on and get away from it all. You can go out on a boat to these. You can hire a small speedboat and find your way around, or you do have tours that go out to some of the sandbanks as well. Or you can go kayaking through many of the mangrove tunnels. We have a number of wildlife sanctuaries, including the Great White Heron Sanctuary, which the Great White Heron is a bird mostly found in southern Florida, and particularly in the Florida Keys. And you'll also find the beautiful pink roseate spoonbill, which is flying amongst the mangroves. Or you can take a visit to the National Key Deer Refuge, where you can get up close and personal to the key deer. These are indigenous to this area and are tiny deer. They're around 2 foot tall, so the size of a small dog. Can you just imagine yourself here right now? I can. It's quite cold and blustery where I am today. So finally, we come down to Key West, which is a further 30 minutes on. And in Key West, we say we're close to perfect, but far from normal. We're a small metropolis. We're just 4 miles by 2 miles wide. The main street is Duval Street, which cuts through the heart of downtown at the bottom of Key West, where you might be able to see the southernmost buoy on the slide there. So that's the old downtown Key West. Now, when you get to Key West, you don't really need a car. In fact, the best way to get around is on push bike, walking, or on the local conch trolley train, which is a hop-on, hop-off service. And in Key West, you'll find many museums, including the Ernest Hemingway Museum, the Shipwreck Museum, or the Truman Little White House. Additionally, we have rum distilleries that you can tour, botanical gardens, a very quirky cemetery, and a beautiful butterfly museum. And Key West is truly at the end of the United States. In fact, in Key West, you're nearer to Cuba than you are to mainland Florida. And therefore, the sunset is something out of this world and is something that we celebrate every night in Key West and all throughout the Florida Keys for that matter. So you can do a sunset sail on a tall ship or a catamaran, or you can go to Mallory Square for their evening sunset celebration. You get a drink, you have some food, there's vendors there and street performers. And when the sun sets, the whole square erupts into clapping and cheering. So like a little festival, mini festival every night. And Key West has a quirky nightlife where live music can always be heard. The streets are dotted with a variety of restaurants and bars offering all types of cuisine, from local establishments to high-end fine dining restaurants. Of course, a visit to Key West is not complete without having a mojito in Sloppy Joe's, which is the famous bar where Hemingway used to sit drinking his mojitos and getting inspirations for his next books. Across the year, we have numerous festivals that you can spectate at, watch the carnivals, enjoy, such as the Ernest Hemingway Days, which takes place every July, or our October staple Fantasy Fest, where you'll see all sorts of sights. And just before I sign off, I just wanted to flag a day trip from Key West to the Dry Tortugas National Park. It's 70 miles west of Key West. To get here, you would take a ferry, which would be about 2 hours each way, or a seaplane. And when you're at the fort, it's stunning. It's great for snorkeling, huge coral heads, white powdery beaches, and the fort really has so much history and is really fascinating. And from here, you just see 7 different shades of blue all around you. You're just in the middle of the ocean. So that concludes my whistle-stop tour of the Florida Keys and Key West. Does anyone have any questions?
Thanks very much, Emma. There are a couple of questions in our Q&A box. They're both anonymous, unfortunately, but we have on the Keys, what sort of accommodation do they have? So
yeah, there's a lot of accommodation varieties. We are a luxury destination. We are a more high-end destination. And yeah, you can find some beautiful hotels. You can find villa products within the hotels. One of our most luxury properties within the Florida Keys is called Little Palm Island. It's situated towards the lower Keys, and you take a speedboat or a seaplane to get to it, and it's absolutely stunning. But all throughout the Keys, we'll have high-end accommodations, hotels, but then we also have mid-range as well, motels. You know, we have Courtyards by Marriott's as well. Think that sort of level. And down in Key West, we have lots of original guest houses, which are the traditional conch houses. They might have 13 bedrooms in, for example, but they're really, really quirky and low-key, but again, very high-end luxury product with private pools and what have you.
Brilliant, good stuff. On the property note, someone asked, do you have many properties that hold 5 people in a room, so 2 adults and 3 children? I imagine that might be one that you have to do some digging on and get back.
Yeah, for the hotel product, probably 5 in a room, maybe a push. Depends on how old the 3rd child is, if a rollaway bed could work. But we do have villa products. So say, for example, up in Isla Morada, we have the Chica Lodge Resort and Spa, which has a new villa product called the Casitas, which has 1 and 2 and 3 bedroom bungalows. Down in Marathon, we have Tranquility Bay, again, which is like villa product. So the same 1, 2, 3 bedroom, your own room, your own villa, but with hotel facility. And then down in Key West, we have the Sunset Key cottages as well, which are cottage product. So we can definitely accommodate you within a property, but if specifically in a hotel room, I can certainly get back to you on that.
Okay, brilliant. And now it's your turn to ask a question. So if you could let us know what your prize is.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So our prize is a Florida Keys roller trolley bag with a luxury beach towel and some other goodies thrown in there. And our question is, God, what is our question? What is the name of the longest bridge in the Florida Keys? What is the name of the longest bridge in the Florida Keys?
Brilliant. Thank you. So Emma's done the hard part there and remembered her question. All you have to do is figure out the answer, agent. So again, you can watch back the webinar. And if you haven't heard it enough, it's www.travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition. So that's Sunday by 4 p.m. Get your answers in there. And like I said, you can rewatch them. They'll be up. The webinar itself will be up, so you can catch that. But thank you very much, Emma. That was a lovely.
Brilliant. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
And yes, now time for our final presentation of the day. So no pressure, Steve, but we're going to end on a high note with Lindos Hotels Sales and Marketing Director, Steve Stewart. Thanks very much, Steve. Take it away.
Right. Okay then, Matt. Thank you very much for that, that intro. Right, let's get this up here. And let's get to full screen. Sorry, Matt, hang about. This is The screen sharing is causing an issue just now. I can't actually see what I'm presenting. Sorry, give me 1 second. Mark, I'm really sorry about this, but I can't actually see what's happening anymore thanks to Zoom. Can anyone actually see what I'm presenting?
I can see your slides, yeah.
You can, well, that's good because I can't. So I'll just have to wing it. Right. Good afternoon, everyone. Apologies for this slight technical hitch, but Zoom is never the best. I am going to be talking to you about the Lindos hotels in Rhodes.
Sorry, Steve, we just lost your slides again there. They were there.
It's not working, Mark. It's not working. Right, let's try. Are we all on this time?
Yes, we can see those now. Thanks,
Right,
Steve.
wonderful. Super stuff. Right, okay, so my name is Steve Stewart. I'm here to talk to you about the Lindos hotels in Rhodes, but I'm just going to focus because we're talking here about luxury, about the Lindos Grand Hotel, and also the Gennady Grand Hotel. So Lindos Hotels are a family-owned chain of 5 hotels on the island of Rhodes. And as you can imagine by the name, most of them are clustered around the Lindos area. So transfer time down from Rhodes Airport, about 45 minutes down to Bleaker Bay, where you've got 3 of the hotels, including Lindos Grand. And it's about another 15 minutes from there down to the Gennady Grand. If you haven't been to Rhodes before, it's an absolutely fantastic island to visit. Rhodes town itself is one of the finest preserved medieval towns in all of Europe. Everyone goes there for a day trip. It's a great place to explore. Top tip, when you say to your customers, when you go to Rhodes Old Town, go in through the main gates and go as high up into Old Town as you can, because otherwise you just get everyone trapped in the main sort of areas, being top dollar and the nearest taverna that they stumble into. So tell your customers, do take the chance, explore Rhodes Town when they're there on the island. I mean, it's a fabulous island to visit year round. People are especially worried just now about cost of living and the price of things. Rhodes is a great option year round, certainly from April through to October. And I'd always say to people for October half term, it's a perfect place to go. Temperatures are still usually in the mid-20s. This is the town of Lindos, very famous place to visit. One thing to say is you get a lot of day trippers going down there in the daytime, but in the evenings, on top of all those quite sugar-cube buildings, all these fabulous bars and restaurants open up. So it's a great place to be based in hotels nearby, because you can go in and explore Lindos in the daytime, and then also in the evenings, you can then enjoy some fantastic bars and restaurants. So it's a much more attractive place to go perhaps than some of the other resorts on the island. And also when you're on the south of the island, you can visit some fantastic beaches like this one at Principe, which is as good as anything you're going to see in the Caribbean. So fabulous place, fabulous island to visit. First of all, I'm going to tell you about the Gennady Grand Resort, which is a stunning 5-star property down in the south of Rhodes. Now, it's about 300 rooms in total, all low-rise, all spread out over this beautiful site. Lots of water features everywhere. This is the main building, and it's built to high environmental standards. So they've actually got a green roof on the top there, so that absorbs rainwater, and it also then helps keep the main building cooler as well in the daytimes. Gennady Grand is fortunate; it's got its own beachfront, this vast beachfront, and it was just awarded a blue flag just last week, actually. If any of you saw the post on LinkedIn, and so. It's some of the purest water, finest waters you're going to find in Europe. Just one top tip again, the beach here does not pass the sandcastle test, so you can't actually make sandcastles there. It's more of a shingle, but that does help to keep the water very, very clear. And nice chill out areas on the beach as well. So, as I said, it's about 300 rooms in total. Over half of them have got private pools. And even for those that don't have private pools, there's about another 5 big pools that you can choose from. So there's always plenty of space around, plenty of places to relax and to chill out. Here at the central pool, looking onto the reception area, to the left-hand side there, that's 2 of the a la carte restaurants. Gennady does offer bed and breakfast, half board, and an ultra all-inclusive option. And just to quickly show you some of the rooms here, but the ones of most note are these two-bedroom suites. Now, the two-bedroom suites are actually 80 meters squared, which is some of the biggest rooms I've ever seen across the whole Europe, really. And these can sleep up to 5. And you can get options. Some of the two-bedroom suites do also have a private pool, and the private pool is double-sized. You've probably seen there are some special offers going on just now with the main tour operators. There are still free children places for July and August. So if you want to offer your clients a super luxurious option, then look at the Gennady Grand for the bigger two-bedroom suites. So a quick run through the restaurants. There's 11 in total, 11 bars and restaurants in total. Focus on fine dining. They're very much a focus on excellent cuisine here now. I was very, very fortunate to visit there just at the end of April, and the food was superb. All the different restaurants here. I dined in Useria, it was fabulous, great food. And it's nice actually to see a hotel that's actually invested so much in the cuisine and the high standards of the cuisines, which people would expect when they're on holiday in a 5-star hotel. And the fine dining restaurant here is particularly attractive. Now, there is a credit as well. If you have booked half board, that you can get credit towards the fine dining restaurants. All that I'll send you at the end of the presentations once we get our consumer details. There's a gin bar here as well, which is quite unique, and there's a fabulous spa. It's a multi-award-winning spa. So it's great then, as I said, start and end of season for anyone that wants to not just use the spa facilities, but also you've got fabulous indoor pool. And very popular for yoga in the grounds. So a lovely chilled out resort, big spread out, beautiful 5-star hotel, low-rise buildings throughout, bed and breakfast through to all-inclusive with 80 square meter family rooms. The next hotel quickly to talk about is the Lindos Grand Hotel, which is just on the bay north of Lindos, Felica Bay. And look at that view, you know, it's absolutely stunning. So you can just walk down the path there, down onto the beach, and just sit there and enjoy the sunsets. Adults only property, again, offering is only bed and breakfast and half board, but again, a very fine focus on cuisine here. And the fine dining restaurant in this hotel has actually been voted on TripAdvisor as the best restaurant in the Lindos area, which is remarkable for a hotel to manage to do that. So there's only 189 rooms and suites here in total. Over half of them have got private pools. And as you can see here, some of the private pool rooms are this little L shape, which is excellent, which gives you a bit of extra privacy, you know, compared to some other pool suites that you see in hotels. So you've got the double rooms and junior suites and the beachfront suites, which I mentioned. So again, the restaurant choices, this is the main buffet restaurant that we have. Now, this is the fine dining restaurant. So this is the one that's been voted on TripAdvisor as the best restaurant in the area. And if you want to get into Lindos in the evenings, if you walk up here, sorry, not walk, take a cab, find this way and drop down and you're into Lindos itself in about 5 minutes. Now, there are 5 a la carte restaurants in this hotel, which is quite incredible, you know, for a hotel of only 189 rooms. We've got fish, Italian, which is superb, casual dining restaurant, Asian restaurant, and then a Japanese restaurant. Now, the executive head chef in the group of hotels, he always tries to teach himself a new cuisine every year. And a couple of years ago, he spent the winter months crossing Japan, learning how to cook Japanese cuisine. So it's a very unique choice there, and it's a superb option for your clients. Adults only, as I said, with great dining options. Up on the rooftop, they've got this fabulous sky lounge that's been built to sit back, stargazing, and enjoy the vibes up there. And there is an indoor spa here as well. Not quite as big as extensive as Gennady is, but still a wonderful spa to relax in this luxury hotel. And this is quite cool. So the fitness room, rather than being stuck away indoors, downstairs at the back of the hotel, they've built this open plan. So that's not a window you're looking out to, that's actually open plan. So you're there, you've got the fresh sea breezes blowing in, and you can enjoy the sea views out into the bay. And also to make you part of the local cultures, there's various activities on offer, from cooking classes to ceramic art, and also astronomy classes, because the Greeks were telling me, as we all know, the Greeks invented everything. But the modern star charts that you see were actually mapped by somebody from Rhodes back in ancient times. So that's one more thing that the Greeks invented. Weddings are available in all their hotels. And as I said, there's a big focus on sustainability and all options in every hotel. So sorry about the technical hitches there, but that's Lindos Hotels for you. Just talking about mainly the Gennady Grand and the Lindos Grand Hotels. Two fabulous five-star choices for your clients for the summer. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Steve. So you touched very briefly there on two of the properties. How else would you sum up the remaining properties in the brand? Just very quickly, just so agents can kind of get a taste of what this.
So as I say, Matt, today's about luxury. So the Gennady Grand and the Lindos Grand are the two luxury properties within the portfolio. Lindos Imperial is also a five-star hotel. It's a more all singing, all dancing, all-inclusive property. And then you've got Lindos Village and Lindos Royal, which are around sort of 4.5 star for Lindos. So they're the sort of step down. Lindos Royal is a step down from Lindos Imperial. Lindos Village is a step down, perhaps a couple of steps down from Lindos Grand. But yes, the two luxury properties, the Lindos Grand and the Gennady Grand.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And we'll end on, no offense to anyone else, but maybe one of the more dramatic prizes of the night. So if you'd like to tell us what the prizes are for today's event.
I think the most dramatic thing of the night was struggling with Zoom, actually, to be honest. Yeah, but, the prize is a 3-night stay for 2 people in the Gennady Grand Resort in Rhodes on bed and breakfast basis.
Brilliant. And what's your competition question?
And the question is, how many a la carte restaurants are there in the Lindos Grand Hotel? How many a la carte restaurants in the Lindos Grand Hotel?
Brilliant. Thank you. And someone did just ask me if I could throw the link. So I will be doing that, throwing the link to the webinar competition once that's ready, because we have to upload the webinar first before we can run the competition. So anyone waiting for that, we will be emailing that out around. But yeah, that's about it for me. So I'd like to just say thank you to everyone for coming. Can I get all of our suppliers just back on with our cameras just to say goodbye to all the agents here? Brilliant. Thank you, guys. So yes, the training will be back tomorrow morning, live on our website, Facebook and YouTube. So you can recap, find all those competition answers, and that will also be live with the competition link as well. So yes, thank you very much to all of our partners here who are with me, and thanks for all the agents for coming along. And we hope to see you again soon. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.